Welcome back, my amazing second grade artists. Our next project will be focusing on Eric Carle. He was an author, illustrator, and collage maker. Who is Eric Carle? Eric Carle is a very famous children's book illustrator and author. He has illustrated more than 70 books, many bestsellers, and more than 152 million copies of his books have sold all around the world. Eric Carle, the collage maker. Eric Carle's art is one of a kind. His artwork is created in collage technique, using hand-painted papers which he cuts and layers to form bright and cheerful images. It is very easy to pick out his beautiful artworks. Collage. A collage is a visual representation made from many different forms, materials, and sources, creating something new. A collage may include newspaper clippings, ribbons, bits of colored or handmade papers, portions of other artworks, photographs and such, glued to a solid support or canvas. Visual texture. Visual texture refers to the illusion of the surface's texture. It is what actual texture looks like on a two-dimensional surface. The visual textures are what you see in a photograph. No matter how rough objects in a photograph look, the surface of the photograph is smooth and flat. Eric Carle, Mister Seahorse Collage, Part 1. Our learning goal for this project is mixed media, where we produce a work of art through mixed media or fibers that utilize multiple processes. Our learning targets for this project are: I can use texture in my art, and I can create a collage using mixed media to create art. The materials you'll need are a piece of white paper, a pencil, a Sharpie, and some crayons. Don't forget, you can also choose to print or download the directions. All right, boys and girls, let's get started. Welcome back, boys and girls. Now we're ready for part 1 of our Mister Seahorse collage. All right, the first thing that you need to have today is a white piece of paper, and I want you to set it up so that it is vertically up and down, which is also hamburger style. And once you have your piece of paper set up, then you're going to need a pencil with an eraser, just in case you make a mistake, and a permanent marker to trace over it when you're finished. And you're going to need some crayons today. All right, so first we are going to start. And our step 1 for our seahorse, and we're going to make our seahorse in the center area of our paper. And the step 1, we're going to draw one towards the middle of our paper, but not quite all the way in the middle, but towards the center section. So leave some space on the side and leave a bigger space on the other side. You're going to draw one straight line. Step 2, at the top of that straight line, we're going to make a curved line. So we're going to extend it so that it's a curve at the top. Step 3, we're going to start at the end of this curve. We're going to go over just a little with the straight line and stop. Step 4, at the end of this straight line, we're going to give it a little curved line, and it's going to go down. So it starts here, and it goes down a little longer than where our other one is. Step 5, we're going to take right at the end of where we just left off. We're going to go in, and we're going to stop right about in the center. So if we were to start at the top in the middle of our seahorse head and go down just a little, we're going to stop right about there. So we're going to take this line and we're going to go over and stop. So it doesn't go all the way over to the other line. It stops about halfway. Step number 6, we're going to take from right here and we're going to draw out our seahorse's belly, and it's going to come out like it's going to be a diagonal line, and then right at the end of the diagonal line it's going to curve back in. So we're going to start here, and again it's going to start like it's going to be a diagonal line, and then it's going to start to curve back in. So it starts here, down, curve around. Step number 7, we're going to take from the bottom and we're going to come up, and it's going to make a curve at the top. So we start at the bottom, up, and it curves at the top. Curves at the top. Remember to use a pencil and draw lightly in case you make a mistake. It's easier to erase a lightly drawn pencil line than it is if you push too hard. Once you get to the end, and remember, you can always stop, rewind if you need to look at another direction again. That's okay. Okay, so now right where the tail is, we are going to start here, and we're going to trace back around. So it's going to make the same type of motion, that curved line around, and it's going to go down, and then it's going to go straight back up and connect to that back line, the very first line that we drew. So it curves around and then comes right back around. Step number 8, we're going to go right back up to the head, and we're going to give our seahorse a nice big eye. And inside your eye, if you want to just put a nice little black dot in the center. If you want him to be wide-eyed, then you would leave it like that. If you want him to look like he might be falling asleep, you would just add a straight line, and that would be the eyelid. You can do it however you want. Whatever way you want to make your eye, you can make your eye. For step number 10, we're going to make the mouth to our seahorse. So we're going to split this right in half with a straight line to give him a mouth, him or her a mouth. And right down here, we're going to add one nice fin using a nice little wavy line. And you can add some detail into your fin. And then for the last step, we're going to just add some little extra detail around the top of our seahorse. So we're going to give him some details all the way around. Once you have your seahorse drawn with pencil, trace it with a marker, a black permanent marker, and then I want you to go ahead and you're going to color in your seahorse, and I want you to use crayons to color it in. And there is a reason I want you to use crayons to color it in. So don't use marker or color pencil, or the next step for next week won't work correctly. So go ahead now and add color, and you're only coloring in your seahorse. Leave the background white and set it aside when you're done. Don't forget to put your project in your art box until next week. See you next time. Have a great week.